Salutare tuturor și bine ați venit la episodul cu numărul 8 din seria Come Deliverance 2. În episodul de astăzi vom continua cu questul principal, unde trebuie să ne infiltrăm la această nuntă pentru a vorbi cu baronul von Berg, parcă îl chema. Iar pentru asta avem două chestii pe care le putem face, fie ne aliem cu fierarul Rodovan sau mergem la acest morar Crizel. Am ales să mergem cu fierarul, așa că am venit aici în Tachov. Și suntem undeva aproape de el. Cred că e la taverna asta aici. Uite-l, ăsta e. Hai să vorbim cu el să vedem cu ce putem să-l ajutăm sau ce putem face pentru el, pentru a face acel cadou pentru Mire. Nu vrea să vorbească cu noi. Bun, am echipat armura de la Warhorse Studio. Așa. Și avem și setul de... cum se numește? Cut Purse? Da, Cut Purse. Credeam că zice Cut Throat, nu eram sigur. Așa. Cred că va trebui să așteptăm o noapte. Hai să vedem dacă putem cumpăra o cameră aici. Deniec.
Good evening. What do you need?
Cineva care să ne vândă o cameră. Asta este ce avem nevoie.
Greetings, what do you need?
Can I spend the night here?
We're not set up for that here.
Just the one night's enough. All I need is to spend the night.
I'll let you sleep on the hay for a couple of groschen.
Ne lasă să dormim în grajd.
Let's agree
Bine.
on a price. Do we have a deal?
That's more like it. Fine.
What do you have for sale?
Thank you, and a good day to you, friend.
Hai să vedem unde putem dormi. A zis că în grajd... Da, nu știu care e grajdul pe aici. Ia să vedem dacă ne putem recupera investiția. O fi aici, în ambarul ăsta. Nu știu sincer unde e. Cu toate că, uite, asta e hanul. Mi-e teamă că dacă mă pun aici o să vină cineva să mă trezească. Hai că, uite, n-a venit nimeni. E ok.
Good doggy. Good boy.
Pour me one. Shit. Good morning, lad.
Hai să vedem dacă
This
avem
could
ceva
use
de
some
reparat.
repairs.
Asta cred că le putem repara și noi.
How can I help you, stranger?
What do you have for sale?
Nu știu care-i treaba cu armele astea cu coadă lungă, cum sunt sulițele. Și mai avem diagramele astea. Probabil putem noi să craftăm, dar nu știu încă cum.
I'd like to discuss the price.
All right, I'm listening.
What would you say to this?
More. Very well, then. Pleasure doing business. What can I do for you?
I heard you could use a helping hand at the forge.
I could. My last two hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. What do they call you?
Henry,
I'm Radovan. You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
yeah. I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience will come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semine. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test.
Deci probabil aici o să învățăm cum să craftăm arme.
That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
Sure thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter, but if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge.
Păi normal că o să luăm totul din cufăr.
Go over to the anvil and let's get started. Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up bit by bit. Try poking it around for a bit.
Deci trebuie să mișcăm.
Nice and hot. There's a lever above you. Give it a pull.
E că îmi dau seama acum. Să se încălzească sabia. Deci să obținem aceeași temperatură pe toată lungimea sabiei.
But you won't be able to tell when it's in the fire. You have to take it out from time to time and take a look. Try it out. See? That's exactly the straw color we want. You've got talent, lad. Now heat up the whole thing. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things. including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side. Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway.
Dar tot intră în nicovală și nu văd sabia cum trebuie. Nu știu dacă depunerile astea care se formează pe ea trebuie îndepărtate cu ceva.
It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you got to go.
Deci probabil cu cât o să avansăm în crafting sau craftăm o sabie mai bună, mai scumpă, procesul va dura mai mult și va fi mai complicat. Ar putea să dea și fail, nu știu exact. Să vedem cum funcționează.
Heated up now, so come over to the anvil.
So, have you got any ideas?
Well, if I did, I wouldn't leave it to the last moment this year.
See you later.
Greetings.
Hear that? Besides the sparks, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, there you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking.
Ia să vedem ce a ieșit.
Right. Let's have a look. Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
What good does it do me to whistle while I work?
It makes you work to a rhythm. You won't get tired so quickly, and the iron feels it.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
You can sleep in the chamber by the woodshed, and there's a chest where you can keep your things. And of course, you can use the forge anytime you want. Any questions?
Where can I get materials?
You can buy some essentials from me, but if you want to make a fancy sword with lots of ornamentation, you'll have to look elsewhere. This is just a village, you know. The locals ain't after luxury, and they can't afford it neither.
What can I do with the items I've forged?
Well, you can sell them, though you probably won't have much luck around here. But I'll happily buy some of the nicer things from you.
What now?
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to do right away. You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is axes and horseshoes. Right, here are some simple drawings that show what they're both supposed to look like. And some iron. You can get down to it right away.
Just like that? You aren't going to help me?
Sacre, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. I'm not going to look over your shoulder all bloody day. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able, and then sell it all. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again, I'll give you some more interesting work.
Deci, vrea să forjăm ceva. Potcoave și securi. Ok.
I've been banging this spot for a long time.
Christ.
Oh, this is useless. It's cold. It's cold. I should hop over to the forge.
Nu știu de ce zice că e rece, pentru că mie mi se pare că e destul de încinsă. Uite, eu să încins mai tare, parcă.
This is useless. I should move it.
Take my advice and go and tickle some cabbages.
Keep close to others. It's not safe here.
I'm always hitting the same place. That's no good.
Trebuie să și numerești, pentru că, uite, dă pe lângă bucata de metal și nu ajută la nimic.
And to talk about the inheritance.
But your father's still alive.
Aye.
I should heat it up again.
And he gets this feeling that his time's nearly
Începe
up.
să prindă formă, da. Nu e așa ușor pe cât pare.
And he's always threatening to leave everything to the church if I don't go and see him. All right. Once old folks start getting softer. Exactly. Let me tell you, I'd rather die poor than young than go through that.
I better fuck it all up.
Arată secure, doar că nu are slotul pentru coadă. Pentru fiecare tip de echipament, deja are el un semifabricat acolo, în acel butoi, care seamănă cât de cât cu ce vrem să ne iasă nouă. Hai să vedem dacă nimeresc acum.
It needs heat. It's cold. Well, I'm about halfway done.
I heard you're in need of money, friend.
Aye, true enough. I need to pay the tithe and give something to the church for my father's reckoning. So, have you got any ideas?
Well, if I did, I wouldn't leave it to the last moment this year.
See you later.
Greetings. Greetings.
Good to see you. You have a kind master, eh, doggy?
What are you here? It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semin, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semin and find out what the bloody hell happened.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semin wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Semin's crossbow. And some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
All right. I'll get right on it then.
Bun, deci vrea să-i recuperăm încărcătura pe care au furat-o cei doi angajații lui.
Kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them.
I'll have a look at the...
Let's talk about the price.
All right. I'm listening.
Do you accept?
You really won't convince... Finally! Thank you, and a good day to you, friend.
Păi da, stai să mai lăsăm din lucruri, că aparent avem prea multe. Nu e ăsta locul nostru. Nici ăsta. Nici aici. Hai să-l întrebăm unde e locul
How
nostru.
can I help you, stranger?
There's a couple more things I'd like to...
Ask away.
Thanks.
Nu o să ne, adică nu putem să-l mai întrebăm, mai bine îl întrebam de prima dată, da. Uite aici e. Hai să vedem, a zis că se îndreptau către semină. Aici pe undeva.
So I says to him, "No, father, I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour."
Hey! You alright there, laddie?
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as red as a cardinal's hat. Aye. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Me? I'm not a servant.
Oh, I know. Old Samine is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Oh,
Cred că o
I
să avem
didn't give a
probleme.
fuck where you're from.
Sau, mai bine
You
zis,
speak our
ei o
language,
să
do you
aibă
not?
probleme.
Well, Yurko, seems to me this fella doesn't know how to behave toward his betters.
The old man's hired hands are lacking in manners. We'll soon fix that. You're in for an ass kicking, you piece of shit! Come on. Oh, you wee
What
bastard!
in the devil's name is fucking going on here?
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here how we do things.
Grandad?
Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the flood.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. When you were a little nipper running around here bare arse, with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad, hadn't a moment's peace from his big sisters.
What about that wine?
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The Takeoff blacksmith sent me. Radovan.
Blacksmith, eh? Then you'll have some explaining to do. Come along and never mind that fool Yurko. Young Samin's getting married, so we has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
We'll be needing a dozen geese. And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yetchin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone, what we bought only last week.
Enter!
Sorry to intrude, sir. This is Henry, blacksmith Radovan's hand.
Oh, excellent. Dorothy, leave us now. Just make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
But, sir...
Not another word! Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What? But they never came here. Are you telling me they got lost?
Well, I couldn't tell you what happened to them, sir, but It's my job to find them.
There are all sorts of vermin roaming the countryside.
Oh, no
so-
need to imagine the worst right off, gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese and pies.
What about Henry here, sir?
Well, what about him?
We could use an extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yuriko is shit-faced. And your son
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
Thank you, sir. So, lad, you going with us? I hope you're happy about it.
Yeah. I'll be glad to help you.
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
No. That's not how I meant it.
Take
Bun,
it
deci o
easy,
să mergem
son.
să căutăm
I'm only
încărcătura
yanking
care
your pizzle.
dispăruse.
So, do you know what to do? Or have you got any more questions?
No, that's all. But we should get going.
That we should. But it's getting pretty late. We need daylight for a search like that. Come back in the morning and we'll set out. If you want, stay here. You'll get a bit of grub in the kitchen and you can sleep in the barn. What can I do for you?
Take my things to my chamber.
Ok, deci s-a echipat Lordul
God be with
Semin.
you. Keep the peace and we'll stay friends.
Greetings.
Mâncăm și mergem direct la somn. Oh, deja am mâncat prea mult. A zis că putem dormi în hambar.
Give me that look. You're not getting anything.
Deci cred că pe aici pe undeva. Ok, o să încercăm să vedem ce putem să jefuim de aici, cât timp toată lumea doarme până se face dimineața. Bun, hai să mergem să ne întâlnim din nou cu Lordul Semin.
Good day.
I'm ready to set out, sir.
All right, stay close to us and don't go wandering off.
As you say, sir.
Where will we start searching, sir?
If they drove out of Tarkov and headed towards us, they had to pass through.
Right, sir. You keep up with us, son. Troskovitz ain't far, but it seems there's fellas vanishing on the way.
Very good, Captain.
What do you think about it, Captain?
I know you told me not to jump to any conclusions, sir, but I can't help myself. Someone's running rampant around here, sir.
I know who's running rampant. Yurko in the cellar. We're out of wine again. I knew this wedding wouldn't be cheap, but I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And the bailiff, the bride's father, you'd get more blood out of a stone than coin out of him. And then he behaves like I shit golden eggs just because I'm a noble. Even though he's got more coin than me.
Such are the times, sir. But that Yurko, he's going too far.
You know how those Moravians are. It's in his blood.
Aye, I noticed. But they're getting too much to handle. Him and his cronies. They started on young Henry, soon as he set foot on the courtyard.
What? Is that true, Henry?
It was nothing. Just a bit of a friendly brawl. They clearly had a skinful. I can understand it.
Well, I've sure as hell got no understanding for it. I hope they didn't hurt you.
Young Henry here gave Yurko a nice hammering.
Oh, that's no surprise. The fella can hardly stand upright most of the time.
You'd have to get up early to catch them sober. But they wasn't that drunk as to give Henry an easy fight.
Look here, lad. If you're such a champion, I'm sure you'd accept the challenge of an old man like myself.
It would be an honor, sir.
Excellent. Not afraid, eh? That's what I like to see. There's an abandoned pen along the path a bit. We'll stop off there and see what you're made of.
All right, sir. If you'll excuse me, I'll explain some things to the youngster here first. Wouldn't want no accidents happening.
Deci cred că Lordul Semin ne-a provocat la duel. Normal că o să ne luptăm cu el. Bine, mă gândesc că are destul de multă experiență, dar zic eu că o să-l batem.
So, we're here. Gnarly, tell the youngster here
Credeam că
what's
atunci când o
what.
să ne întoarcem la castelul lui o să ne luptăm, dar se pare că ne vom lupta aici, în arcul ăsta improvizat.
All right, son. You're going to fight Lord Samin. It'll be an honorable fight, so you better act accordingly. Hold on a mo. I'll give you some gear for it.
What weapon will you give me?
What would you like?
Sword?
Don't get ahead of yourself, laddie. A sword belongs in noble hands. You can have my cudgel. It might be just a stick, but it's my stick, so careful with it.
Thank you, Captain.
Save the thanks, and get your arse into the pen.
So, young'un, are you ready?
I'll just finish getting equipped.
Well, hurry up. It's not courteous to leave a noble waiting. You should know that.
Dar nu se joacă Lordul Semin.
What do you say, son?
M-a bătut.
You really gave me the runaround.
I'm no spring chicken, but I'm as spry as ever.
That's true. And you handled this too, sir. Anyways, you can keep that old junk, Henry. Even my cudgel. But take care of the old fella. He might be just a piece of wood, but he's saved my arse more than once.
I will, Captain.
What a cheap old nag.
I needed that. It's good to stretch the limbs every now and again. Don't worry about losing, lad. You've got some talent, I can tell. You should come to the courtyard, and Gnarly here will give you a good education in the art of the sword.
I call it the art of not getting skewered as soon as you step foot outside the village. But do come, Henry. We've got a nice arena in Samin. It ain't no abandoned pig pen.
You can't always choose your battleground, Gnarly. Whether it's a pig pen or an arena in Karlstein, it's the performance that counts. And while we're on the subject, where are you from, lad? It's clear you're not from Trotsky.
I'm from Silver Skallets, sir.
Aha! Now I understand why you're here. You're not the first one to flee here from the war.
I don't flee from a fight, sir. I have work here, and a lot of scores to settle.
You want to get revenge for what happened back home? That usually doesn't end well. You'd be better advised to find yourself a well-built girl, build a cottage, and visit the church and the tavern in turn. There's no helping your dead anyway.
That's nice advice, sir. Only women will tie you down, lad. Better to go and see a bit of the world. You're doing the right thing. So, we're in Troskowitz. What now, sir? Should I go to the bailiff and ask if he might have seen someone?
Well, that makes sense. But the young fella here should do it. If the bailiff sees you, he'll guess I'm in the village and come and bother me. And I'm really not in the mood today for any bombardment of complaints.
I understand, sir. All right, Henry. Run along to the rat house and inquire about that wagon.
And Henry, not a word about me. Are we clear?
As you wish, sir.
Bun, trebuie să mergem să vorbim cu bailifful și să nu-l dăm de gol pe Lordul Semin. Dar ce-am făcut de avem atât de multe indulgențe de plătit?
Master Bailiff, can I ask you about something?
Ask away, by all means. Wait now, aren't you that lad who's helping Radovan in the forge?
Yeah, that's me.
I heard his hired hands went missing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here.
Ah, I was thinking they were driving awful fast with that cart.
You saw them?
I did, a few days back. They raced through the village in the early evening so fast, they were dropping sacks of charcoal.
Where were they headed?
Towards the east, to Apollonia on the road to Yichin. And you're looking for them?
I am indeed.
I'm glad to hear it. I heard there were goods for Semin on that cart, and I can do without that kind of trouble now, on account of the wedding, you know?
That'll be all. Thanks.
Am aflat încotro se îndreptau, așa că nu ne mai interesează altceva.
then, young man? How did it go?
They were spotted here, sir. Going to the east, towards Apollonia.
So to Yitchin? The bastards! And what about my goods?
Oh, they were driving so fast, it was falling off the cart.
The thieving scum. Let's hurry. To Yitchin!
Sir, I could send a message to the Itchin captain of the guard.
Oh, it'll take too long. We'll go and get them ourselves.
Won't you be missing preparations for the wedding at home, sir?
I will. Praise the Lord Jesus Christ. If I have to choose between riding to Yitchin and listening to Dorothy's endless fussing, I'll take Yitchin any time. Besides, there's a nice inn along the way, the Three Cats. We can spend the night there.
I remember that place. But I'm not sure, sir, if they'll let the two of us set foot inside the door.
Oh, gnarly, that was 15 summers ago. God knows if the place is even still standing.
True. Still, we'd better keep our eyes peeled. They might not have gone to Yitchin. They could have turned off somewhere. Or something could have happened. They might have been ambushed, maybe.
Will you give over with that? I'll bet my braves they weren't ambushed. More likely we'll find them boozing at the Three Cats.
That'd surely be the best outcome, if that old dive is still standing. Let's go, then. So, St. Anthony, which way now?
While you're praying to the patron saint of lost things, go and have a look along the road, Gnarly. And you, Henry, have a look to the left.
All right, sir. But don't forget, my eyesight ain't what it used to be.
Well, that's what we have the youngster for, isn't it? Off you go.
Whoa! A sack of charcoal? That could have fallen off the cart. Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
You found anything, lad?
There's a sack of charcoal lying in the ditch to the left of the road. The bailiff said they were driving like the devil, so maybe it fell from the cart.
Oh, that makes sense. To the left it is, then. Gnarly! Back here!
We're getting close. I can feel it in my bones, sir. You'll have the car back in no time.
I just hope we find the horses, too. Yarmilka here ain't the youngest, and I wouldn't want to drag it back home myself.
A nobleman in harness. We ain't ever had such a spectacle in these parts.
You might get to see it soon enough. The lords in this country have all gone to the dogs. Every lowborn with a bit of coin builds a house in Kuttenberg, while we live in squalor. Why do you reckon that is, lad?
That's the change in the economical situation, sir. The burghers have more rights, and they make smart use of them. They put their coin to work for them. They've got shops, baths, inns, mills, while the nobles sit waiting until Jack from Backwater Hamlet brings them 3 groschen in taxes on St. Gallus's Day.
You're right there. Only Jack hasn't even got 3 groschen these days. None of this would be happening if we had a king. And I mean a real one, not Wenceslas or Sigismund. Oh, anywhere that's not ruled by a strong hand All sorts of things go wrong.
Especially when you've got Moravian relatives eating you out of house and home.
This is strange.
Ok.
I don't see any cart tracks. What do you reckon, Gnarly?
Se
I'm
pare
blind
că
as a mole, sir.
Lordul Yasmin a
But
descoperit
it's all
ceva.
peculiar, right?
Sau mai bine zis, nu a descoperit
Where
ceva.
the hell could that cart have vanished to?
Well, that's just it. They had nowhere to turn off.
I'll look up the road a bit. And you, Henry, have a look back along the road. Maybe it fell in a ditch somewhere. Who knows?
Very well, sir.
Uite că am găsit ceva.
The blacksmith's cart. And someone went to a hell of a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Hey! I found the blacksmith's cart! Come here!
Deci cineva a ascuns-o. Cel mai probabil au furat încărcătura. De asta au și ascuns-o.
Well, now.
A lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Of course, the goods are gone. The bastards hauled it off to the rocks. That's clear. Well, we can't let them get away with it. We'll carry on, but on foot. My old young milker would only break a leg there. And keep a sharp lookout. Something stinks here.
I told you, they got ambushed by them bastards that's on the rampage around here, sir.
Oh, be quiet. Still can't be sure of anything.
Careful.
Bun, o să încheiem aici acest episod. Continuăm să urmărim pe acești bandiți. Vedem ce descoperim data viitoare. Mulțumesc tuturor celor care ați rămas până la final. Dacă v-a plăcut acest video, nu uitați să lăsați și voi un like și subscribe. Eu am fost Mr. M și ne auzim data viitoare.